Today is January 3rd, 2024. So happy New Year's to everyone that's watching the recorded version of this as well. Happy New Year to you guys. And let's get started with our interest rates first. So let me just invite Promote here. Hey, good morning, Promote. All right, so let's get started with our interest rates first. So according to Freddie Mac, they were at 6.61, and you can see that our national averages for the whole year, this is a 52-week average range. You saw the lowest we saw was 6.09, and the highest we saw was 7.79 for Freddie Mac. For our Mortgage News Daily, which has a little bit more up to date rates, and you can see those for your 30-year fixed rates as 6.72. So as of yesterday, they went back up. How much? Around 0.05%. Okay. So that's around 5 basis points. Again, anything that's heading in the higher direction, we do get a little nervous. It comes down, we get a little happy. That is just the nature when we see interest rates like this. So you have some clients that might say, hey, in October, we saw interest rates around 8%. As of last week, we saw around 6.61, and now they went back up to 6.72. So they're always changing, but the point here is that they're in sixes, right? It's a lot better than sevens or eights. Where do we want to see these? In fives. If it was 5.72 today, we would have a different market. So expect that in the coming months. So we're going to talk about setting your goals and all that, but in 2024, the interest rates should be dropping. So you should focus on your clients and educating them how much they're dropping because they're changing on daily basis. We're having these meetings on weekly basis. You guys keeping it up to date with that. But on daily basis, you can simply go to mortgagenewsdaily.com to track it at any time, and our office is also sending you guys screenshots of these on daily basis as well. So keep an eye on it and see how much they change on daily basis. Okay. If you are the one who's actually buying the house, right? If you're the buyer, you are in panic mode when these things happen, because last week you thought you were ready. Hey, now you saw the trend go back up. How much will it go higher or lower? Only time will tell. But right now we're definitely in the sixes. Okay. So let's do an affordability calculation here. So if someone it's a household making $130,000 income, this could be one person, this could be two people, as long as the household income is 130, and they have a savings of down payment for $80,000, and their monthly debt is around $500. Maybe they have a nice car or something as well, and their interest rate we're going to use 6.61, and let's say they're looking for where the property taxes are around $10,000, this couple can qualify for almost $600,000. Okay, the DTI we're putting for 44% here. This way they can qualify for more. This is a real example. This is a real scenario. This person wanted to purchase around $6,000, $600,000, but their goal was to have their maximum payment around $4,000. But when we did the calculation, you can see that they're going over $266, but they can qualify for $600,000. His conversation was that even if they find a property that's going to be 610, 620, they still have some wiggle room for that because we're using DTI, their debt to income ratio, for 44%, whereas we can take it up to 49% for conventional or even 54% for FHA, right? But when you're doing this, when you can afford a bigger house, your monthly payment is a lot higher too. So you have to see what your clients can afford and see, where they feel comfortable purchasing it at, right? And obviously, if you see a listing price for 697, 597, sorry, you're not going to go ahead and put that offer in. You, as a realtor, have enough tools: geodata, RPR, Stratus. You have all these tools to make sure that you're putting in a fair price where you can get the deal done and you can help save your client thousands of dollars and on the offer sheet. Okay. Next, guys, as a realtor, you guys should know the inflation. If a normal person is talking to you and they say, hey, what is the inflation rate these days? You guys should know this because it really matters with the inflation rate and your mortgage rates, right? So inflation is dropping. It is at 3.14 as of November. The next release for December is going to be on January 11th. So just keep an eye on this. We will let you know as well. But as of right now, the current rate, what the Fed is seeing is at 3.14. Their goal is 2%. They're at 3.14, which is pretty solid. Okay. Next, guys, we want to talk about your home prices. Even if the home prices are dropping next year, they should not, right? Because we're going to have more buyers out there. But let's say we have more sellers. Not a lot of people are talking about that. If the interest rates do drop to 5%, there will be more sellers who were waiting for the interest rates to drop so they can sell this house and they can buy a new one. For in order that to happen, they want to wait until the interest rates are dropping in the fives. That's what most of the surveys are showing. So if you have more buyers, more sellers, your prices should not change. But I'm saying even if they do change, even if they do drop 5%, which is a huge amount, 10%, even bigger, it should not affect us as realtors, right? We're trying to save our clients some money. If we can do that, we will do that for them, right? But if we have more buyers, more sellers out there, more inventory increases, it's just more transactions. Okay. Don't look at the price. Don't look at the interest rate. See if your client is ready to purchase today. That person may have been waiting for years for this, day to come where they can be a homeowner. So you want to be that person that's helping them out. But looking at the chart right here, just going from January 22 from until November for 23 here, you can see the lowest we saw was 821 in Nassau, and they jumped to 903. Huge difference, right? Almost $100,000 or 80 to $100,000 difference here. And that's a lot. So even if the prices don't go any higher, we should be okay with that. Just get some transactions done in 2024. Okay. So in the news is like, what are they expecting in 2024? Is 2024 a good year to buy a home? That's going to be the number one question that any homeowner is going to be asking because they're renting right now and they don't know if they should buy or not, right? The key points that the rates should come down. They're already coming down. We are seeing this, and we should see that even further in the fives in the coming months, right? Then the home sales expected to rise in 2024. Why is that? Because there will be more buyers out there. We have a case here where, shout out to MP Maninder Paul. He was on he was renting, and he, finally made a decision to buy the house. And I truly feel like, he's really made a right move right now because he doesn't have to go through, long bidding wars when there's more buyers out there, right? Because the person who's going to purchase today, or if he's going to purchase in the next 6 months, most likely they will refinance that property when the interest rates come down even further in the coming years, right? But if you are renting and you are thinking about purchasing, it might be a good idea to purchase. It really depends on how long they're going to live in that property. So his conversation, when we had that conversation, was simply, hey, how long you plan to live in New York? If it's going to be a long time and you know you have a steady job and you're working, why not purchase a property instead of renting it, right? Affordability will improve. If the interest rates are coming down, more people qualify for more. Yes, there's a bidding war, but there's just more buyers out there for you as realtors. And that's what we want. And this is according to NAR's research. Home sales start to rise, building momentum for 2024. And that's exactly what we want to see. Okay. In November and December, they are one of those slowest months where most people do not want to move when it's Christmas, right? When it's the holiday season, they simply don't want to move. Sometimes they want to have their last holiday season or last Christmas in that particular house. They might be living there for 10 years, 20 years, and they maybe want to have that as the last year and then sell it in January, February. And we want right now is that time that you want to approach those sellers, right? Maybe they have not sold, they were ready to sell now, so you want to be that part of those transactions by connecting with those people, right? And there are more than a fifth of the adults, millennials, that choose to live rent free before buying a house, right? How are they living rent free? They're simply living with their parents, right? We have seen that prior generations, we will mention later on as well, that there were people like you turn 18, you want to move out. Not anymore. There's a lot of people who's like, hey, let me stay in with my parents. Let me stay here as long as I can until I'm ready. I have a steady job and now I can purchase my own house, right? So you're seeing about a fifth of that. For your confidence scores, these are your confidence index, that the first time home buyers rate is still low at 31%. The interest rates coming down, this number will increase. More first time home buyers will be willing to purchase those properties. Cash sales are around 27%. Again, you want to be those part of these cash deals where there's no bank involved. There's no appraisal, there's no, I mean, there could be appraisal, but the bank is not giving any conditions. There's no bank involved, so you can literally close a deal within 7 to 10 days. So if you're going to do a cash deal and there's no mortgage, why they're still taking 10 days on average, right? It could be 15 days, but it's just they're waiting for the title company, right? We had a conversation with another agent. If you are about to put in an offer, if your client asks you, hey, does this property have any violation? Does it have any open permits? You do not know that. Say, hey, I can just see the property. I can do the comps and see what is valued at. But if there's any violations, open permits, we will clearly see that on the title report. If those issues do arise, we can renegotiate the price. But right now, we don't want to assume that, hey, on Property Shark or Geodata, you might see a lien and maybe it's already paid off and you have no idea. It could be a deal breaker. So don't assume that you can do all the research for them beforehand. So simply put in your offer, let the offer get accepted, go under contract, have the title company do their research. That's what they're getting paid for. So if there's any issues on the title report, let's discuss that with the listing agent and let them discuss it with the attorneys and see what they're gonna how they're gonna resolve it. Right? If it's a major issue, if your client doesn't want to move forward, that's different. But we just need a clear title before the closing. Okay. Next is that there's so many people out there, especially home buyers, they have no knowledge of FHA, VA, and low down payment programs. Number one myth that most people think that we need 20% conventional loan, right? If you want to do a conventional, you need 20% down payment. That's majority of the people out there. If you do a survey today, most likely more than 50% will say that yes, you need 20%. But as you as a realtor, you should know that we don't need that, right? So maybe you guys can be that guide where you can tell them, hey, we have enough loan officers in our company here that can help you, fulfill this gap where they can give you knowledge for FHA, VA, conventional, non-QM, all these loans so you can make your wise decision, right? Because you guys want to be that guide. Because we said that in a transaction, a real estate transaction, there's three people that are super important to a buyer. Number one is you as a realtor. You're the one who's guiding them. Number two is your loan officer. That person is going to take them to the closing. And number three is going to be your attorney. He or she is going to protect you, making sure that you don't pay anything like transfer tax or anything like that, and protect you from your earnest deposit if things do go south. So you do know need those three people: realtor, loan officer, and an attorney. You want to be that guide and telling your clients and guiding them with that. Okay. Next, guys, if you have not went to any auction in 2023, make it a goal that you want to go to any auction in Nassau or Queens. They're both local. If you're living in Nassau, you can go there on regular. If you're in Queens, you can go there on the auctions as well. The point here is that you actually start getting involved and start networking with other agents. It could be from other agencies as well, but start going to these auctions, right? You once you get the hang of it, you will start taking your investors with you. If you want to practice that, what kind of conversation you want to have with your investors, come to the office, speak to me so we can go over this with you. You want to start going to these auctions. You want to be, where you can have maybe 10, 20% of your transactions coming from these auctions, right? So this is a good one coming up on the 8th. This is a property listed in Hempstead. The lien is very small, around 242. That means that there will be a bidding war because they're just starting up at 242 here. So just be part of it. If you have no knowledge, just show up. Half the things that we do in life, if you just show up, they get done. So just show up to them. to this location, and you will be amazed how many people you see there. Okay, so start getting involved with auctions. Any questions, concerns on auctions, or anything else we mentioned so far, guys? All right, guys. Next is LoopNet. One of our agents asked, hey, they're looking for commercial lots. Where do I search that? It should be loopnet.com. Again, free website to browse. It's a paid website if you want to list. So if you have a listing, commercial listing, you want to, blast it, then you would want to get an account for LoopNet. But just to browse, there's no charges. So you should have this on your, as a tool guide that you want to go to LoopNet. You want to do this for businesses for sale, any commercial listings, any warehouses, empty lots, all of that is on loopnet.com. Okay, just start browsing, start searching for different areas, and see what you see there. Increase your knowledge much as possible being a realtor, guys. Okay, next is your website, guys. You want to focus on getting sellers. So you want to tell your sellers, hey, anytime you can send them this link to go to my website, type in your address, and you can get a free evaluation right on the spot. It's connected directly with geodata, so it's super powerful. So if you were to go to your website, so it could be promote.ljrealtyteam.net, janet.ljrealty.net. So it's your name.ljrealtyteam.net. Once you're on the homepage here, if you click on free property evaluation, they will see this pop-up comes up. It says enter your address. They simply put in the address and hit next. So you can see here right away within seconds, because of this address, you can see the property value. Okay. Sometimes you will see for Zillow as well. So you guys can compare the two and see, which one you guys want to go with. But the seller, they would have a good idea because they're already checking these estimates on Zillow, right? They're going there, they're putting in the address. Oh, my house is worth $1 million. And maybe this one says $1,076,000, right? We know that Adam is a lot more accurate than Zillow. So if you haven't tested this feature out, test it yourself. Put in your address, put in your neighbor's address, and see what you see there. And if you were to compare this with Geodata Atom, you'll see the same numbers here. If your client is interested and clicks on reach out, their information will automatically be added to KV Core. Okay, so it's a very powerful tool that is great for sellers, and we want you to promote it. So maybe you guys can take a link just for this free property valuation link and promote it in your email signatures, text messages, any way you want. Okay. Next, guys, when you're a buyer's agent, right, there's few things that you should know like right off the bat, and it should go in order. That hey, if you want to be a professional, you want to ask the right questions. Sometimes even experienced agents will have. There's a chat going on. Okay. Oh yes, sorry, Sheldon. Go ahead. But auctions. Sorry about that. What's your question, boss? Sure. Mm-hmm. Yes. Sure, sure. Yeah, anytime. Yeah, if you guys want to do this one-on-one, guys, more than welcome. Right. The point here is that you guys be knowledgeable and start taking action and start, attending these auctions. Right. Thank you, Sheldon. Right. All right, guys. Next for buyers questionnaire. We want to ask the right questions. We simply because we have one page questionnaire and we you don't want to miss out on one thing, right? You don't want it to go back and ask for their schedule or oh, how many bedrooms did you ask for? Which area were you asking for? Right? You don't want to go back and forth. You have one sheet, ask the right questions right off the bat. You want to do this, on your first conversation. It could be on the phone, it could be on the text message, it could be in person, right? The first preference when we have these meetings should be in the office. Make it habit. Hey, you're a brand new client for me. We have never met. Let's meet in the office. So this way they get to see the office. They know how local we are, how professional we are, and get this question down to the teeth. right? Ask them the right questions so you guys can add them to KV Core. So if anyone out there, could you tell me why you use KV Core and what's the point of it? Anyone? Yeah. Okay, so I agree with some parts. I agree. Where like automated, they're sending some automated emails, but it's like we don't want to rely on it. That's exactly. Thank you for pointing that out, Sheldon. There's a lot of agents, they just feel like once I add a client in KV Core, I'm good. Basically, it's going to be on autopilot where KV Core is sending them emails with the properties. But how many times do we actually check emails? Or average person checks emails, right? Their personal email throughout the day. Not a lot. But how about their text messages right away, right? It's like text message and emails, they're like completely two different stats. So we want you to start using KV Core for text messages, right? So what is it actually doing? You want to add and manage your clients there. Anybody you can think of that's going to be purchasing in the near future, you want to add them to your KV Core. That same client, once it's added to you, no one else from our brokerage can add them. So that's one good thing. So you want to add them as quickly as possible. You want to set alerts only once. If you ask them the right questions, you want to set up your alerts once, right? Because unless their things change, their preference change for different areas or anything like that, then you update your alerts. But you need to just set them once. And the system, like Sheldon mentioned, is already emailing them the listings, but we don't know if they're checking the listings or not through their email. So we want to send them via text message from KV Core. So it should be on daily basis. You have 10 clients, you have 100 clients, does not matter. So you should start from the top. This is my number one client. And let me see in alerts if there's any recent results. Anything that popped up in there is showing you 6 recent results. You want to click on the property that you actually think is good for your client. If there's 6 new properties, you don't want to send them all 6. Send them exactly what you think that they will like, because you're their realtor. You should be feeling them out or by now that, hey, this person likes this, doesn't like this, likes this, doesn't like this. You guys should know this by now, right? That this is my client. This is when we're saying, hey, you're building relationship, this is how you're building it, right? And then you want to send them these listings every day. So you think there's new properties coming every single day? Not really. If you're checking it on daily basis, automatically your brain is gonna say, "Hey, this person does not have anything new today, so I'm not gonna send them anything." I click next. I go to my next client. I can be resting assured that, hey, I don't have to worry about following up with this client because there's nothing new on the market. But do we have to follow with our clients on daily basis and looking at in KV Core on daily basis? Yes, every day, right? Just make it a habit that, hey, if I have one client, I'm going to spend 1 minute to follow up. That's how easy KV Core is. If you're just looking in KV Core and you see a recent results and you don't take any action, guess what? Maybe they're seeing the same property through Zillow or something else, or Redfin or Realtor.com, or anything else besides you. You don't want that. You want them to get a text message from you as soon as there's a new property on the market. Just set your goal that, hey, I have to follow up with my clients on daily basis. We're doing everything else. You maybe have a full-time or part-time job, but if you have a real estate license, make use of it in KV Core, guys, right? We have 70 agents, 50 seats in KV Core. About 20 of you guys are not using it. The system will automatically notify us, hey, it's been 90 days. This agent have not logged in, so they're going to kick them out. So if you want to be active in KV Core, if you're not able to log in, just speak to me so I can make sure that you have logins for that. We don't mind getting more seats for KV Core, but we just need to make sure that you guys are using it because it's a very powerful tool and it should be on repeat until you get that client to the contract, right? You want to, once you set up the alerts correctly, you don't want to send them hundreds of properties. It should be between with the first message that you're sending them, it should be between 20 to 30 properties. They pick few of them, you feel that out, and then you send them only what's new coming on the market. It should be on daily basis. Even if you have no communication with that client, even if the client is not responding to you for months now, trust me, they're still clicking on those links and looking at those properties. Okay. So please guys, make your, number one task that, hey, I have to log into KV Core. I have to add and manage my clients there. Okay. Next, guys, next tool is your transaction desk. We have our templates, we have offers, disclosures, e-signatures, everything is in there. Some of you guys don't want to use that, but you should not avoid transaction desk. Simply put, just because it makes you look more professional. What's better, that you email and get everything e-signed within minutes, or you say, hey, come to the office tomorrow at 10 o'clock, have them travel 30 minutes or 20 minutes and go through the whole 9 yards where it can be done in seconds, right? You want to be that professional, where you can send them 8 o'clock. Hey, I'm at home right now. I'm filling out your offer sheets. Let's put this offer in right now so we can get your offer accepted, right? The agent that's going to be waiting the next day for them to come in maybe is already too late. So if you want to really stick out, learn transaction desk. I will be making a separate new video on transaction desk, going in and out about that. It will be a 10 to 20-minute video. I really want you to look at it if you really need help for transaction desk. Some of you guys are professional at it, like everything's top notch on that. And some of you guys are barely touching it. It is one of the greatest tool that we have, so we want you to use it. Okay. So some people don't know even how to log into transaction desk. Perfectly fine. You guys are new to this, right? So first log into Stratus. Once you are in your tools status, you already have the login for that, and come back and click on transaction desk. A new window will open up and it will automatically log you in because it's linked to MLS Stratus. Okay. All right, guys. Yes. Yes. Mhm. Okay, I will figure that out. But are you using it just as a text? There's a feature where any form you can just click on text. Hmm. Okay, so you're using what I'm implying, but yeah, great. So I'll take a look at it and see if there's any way. Just the concept of a contact is that so they can be notified. Otherwise, if you're just filling it out, text. But I'll reach out to transaction desk and see what they say. Good question, though. Right? Yep. You're welcome. Yep. All right, guys. Any other questions before we move on? Because these are the tools that you should know these inside out. There's nothing else to learn if you guys don't know these basic things: kv core, transaction desk, and asking the right questions in the beginning with our buyer's questionnaire, right? As a realtor, especially the buyer's agent, if you're not doing that, they're not going to think that you're professional at all. And when it comes to the commission, remember we having this lawsuits and everything. When it comes to commission and there's nothing listed on MLS and you're not getting paid from the buyer, you have to bring some value to that. You have to tell them, hey, I've been following it with you. Look at these text messages every single day I'm sending you. You are bringing some value to yourself when you're being professional and following it with your clients using these systems. Okay. So next, guys, is going to be some topics for home buyers and sellers that you should focus on as a realtor. You got to understand that owning a home helps overall financial picture, right? We know that, like, you can have different types of investments out there, but home ownership is one of the fastest and most reliable way to stabilize your housing expense and build some wealth at the same time. We have seen it over and over again where at the closing table where people have purchased the property and lived there for 20 years, and now they're going to sell it and retire and even downgrade or move to a different state. But over those years, instead of just renting, right, they bought a house. They made it a tough decision years ago, and it's finally paying off, right? So you want to be that guide where you're telling your clients, hey, home ownership is for the long run. If you are going to be there for a short time, a year or two, it's not worth it. So it's best that you still rent out if you're not too sure if you're going to stay in this state for a long time. On the other hand, if you are, is the best thing you can do for yourself. Okay. Next, guys, that you want to determine how much you can afford. We get calls almost every day where some would want a pre-approval letter, but they don't want to provide the documents, right? If they don't want to provide the documents, the tax returns, or fill out our disclosures, there's no way a loan officer can give a pre-approval, right? So every one of us needs to understand this, and the buyer too. The buyer is scared because they feel like their credit is going to get hurt because the loan officer is going to do a credit pull. So you have to tell your client, especially if they come to LJ here, we do not do a hard pull in the initial stages. Simply put, all our loan officers will do a soft pull, meaning it will not affect your credit scores at all. More importantly, this way you know as a buyer and as a realtor how much you truly qualify for. You don't want to be under contract and then you have a problem because you don't even qualify. It makes you look bad. It makes the loan officer look bad, and maybe they would accept a different offer, right? But they relied on you and your pre-approval letter. So there's times where your client wants to just call us and see how much they qualify for. So if they want to know what's they're qualifying, we don't need any documents. But if they want to get a pre-approval letter, then we do need their documents. They're giving us documents. We're giving them a document saying that this is your pre-approval. They're telling us over the phone, hey, I make $80,000. This is my expenses. And then we tell you, based on that, you qualify or pre-qualify for this amount. But provide us with your tax returns, and maybe we can tell you that you qualify for even more than what you think. You don't know until we actually look at those documents. So encourage your clients, tell them that this way, let's get a pre-approval, so this way we don't wasting anyone's time. Okay. They are scared of the credit pull. We will not do a credit pull. There are other loan officers that will do it. We had a client just a few days ago, went to one of the banks. He had no idea that, Chase Bank already did a hard pull on him, right? So you're the one who's educating them on this, guys. Okay. So you want to tell your clients, let's get started on your New Year's resolution and cross out getting pre approved off your list, right? So that should be the goal for them. Let me show you the houses. Let's get pre approval and let's move on. And remember, guys, some people they just can just start off as a starter home. Not everybody's looking for $1 million property. There are people who are looking for condos, co-ops. They qualify for only $300,000 and they don't have much options, right? So they still want to purchase instead of renting. They know better. So what they want to do, maybe they're newly married and maybe they only want 1 or 2 bedrooms, 1 bedroom for themselves, one for the storage or something. But after they have the kids and everything, they want to do an upgrade to 3 or 4. But then they already built some equity. They can take that leverage and get another property that they want or upgrade to a bigger property. Okay. How about downsizing? As we mentioned, there's going to be some people who's going to be downsizing because of retirement. They had kids and all that. Now they're retired. Everybody's married off to their own lives and everything. Now these couples, they want to downsize. Maybe they had a single family, huge, nice house, and now they want to downgrade or downsize to a condo or a co-op because they don't want the headache of maintaining the whole property. They just want to live in a building, live in an apartment, and have a nice life there, right? So that's great for senior citizens, right? So you want to work with these people. You don't know which side you're going to see it. All right, guys. Any questions so far, guys? All right, guys. Next, let's talk about home warranties, right? One of our agents accesses this, so I'm putting it out there as a slide for you guys. Home warranties is a service contract, right? That provides coverage for certain systems and appliances for newly built homes. So if a builder is building a house, they usually have a contract written out, right? In that contract, just like how we have contingencies and conditions and everything, one of them is home warranty. Hey, you're building this house for me today. I want to make sure that it has some sort of warranty, right? Usually it's for 1 year, but really depends on the contract itself. It can be extended, but it usually covers the plumbing, electric, water heater, so it doesn't go down or doesn't stops working after a few months into it. You bought a brand new building, right? Brand new construction. You don't want any of this to go down or go south. You want to have make sure that you have home warranty on that, right? It is not, it is the only person who can give this is the builder, the construction company that's actually building that property. Okay. Just on a side note, if you are a home builder and you do not get paid from the seller for some reason, let's say they owe you $20,000, they didn't pay off, you can put a lien against that property. So just make sure there's a home warranty to protect the house, and there's another, the builder can put a lien on it if the seller decided not to pay them. Okay. All right, guys. Next is a winter checklist for your home maintenance. So you guys can point that out to your home sellers. Maybe you're just having a conversation with them, and you know that you're a realtor. They know that you're a realtor, and you have a conversation. You can mention any of these things for the winter. They can inspect the roof, the gutters for damage, clean gutters itself, right? Take care of the trees, anything that's like out there on backyard, front yard, right? If there's any leakages, in if there's any wind coming through the doors or the windows, they can do some, fix those. Um, they can have their furnace inspected, make sure that there's weatherproof exterior pipes, right? They can sweep the chimney. So these are the simple things that they can do for to make sure that they're maintaining it for the winter, right? The most important is basically your windows and doors. If there's any air coming out or going in and out, you got a problem. Your heat bill will be much higher if you don't take care of those. Okay. Next, guys, I want to mention Eric Lee. Some of our agents, go crazy over this guy. He's a superstar in a negative way, because he has so many listings out there where the prices are not reasonable. So you can see three properties here. One is in Jamaica, around 1,200 square feet, listed for 167. Another one listed for 180, and another one in West Hempstead listed for 205. These are not realistic numbers, right? So your client might tell you that, hey, I only want to see these properties. So how do you handle them? Right? First, you want to reach out to the listing agent. Some of you guys look at Eric Lee, just the name, and he's like, oh my Lord, he's not going to pick up my calls, right? There's a good chance that he's not. But guess what? You should still try. Try one more time and say, there's a new listing that I just see if he, actually picks up. Second is that if he doesn't pick up his cell phone, you can try the office. See if there's any office assistant that can help you out scheduling an appointment for that. You're not assuming that, hey, you cannot get that deal or that property because it's listed on the market. You want to try these things before giving up on it. Third is that you want to text them or email them and say, hey, I see this property available. You're not picking up my phone calls. Is there any way I can show this property? You also want to keep an eye on it, see if he actually hosts any open house. There are times where there's a short sale, they do it for a short time period of time, and then they leave that on the market for months and months. But in the initial stages, they do put in the as open houses for at least 2 or 3 times. So keep an eye on these, so you can be part of those. If there's no success, right, you can tell your agent or your client that, hey, I'm trying to contact the listing agent, but they're simply not answering. There's a good chance that this buyer or this person already has a buyer and they're just putting it on the market to satisfy the lender, right? I have tried calling them, I have tried calling their office, I text them, email, I have done enough. So just don't assume that you look at one name and hey, he's not going to pick up and you don't take these actions, right? You still can be part of a short sale transaction as long as the listing agent is willing to accept your offer. And it does take months to get approved, but just know that you can be part of those. Okay. Next, guys, some of you guys asked for generations. I mentioned a few of them last of one of the slides, and you guys were a little confused. So I just put in what is the generation name and what year that they should be born in, right? So let's start from the beginning right now. So anybody that's brand new babies these days, that's generation Alpha, right? Prior to that, from 97 to 2012, it's called generation Z. From 1981 to 1996, millennials. That's what I am. I hope some of you guys are here too. Then you have Gen X from 65 to 80. So like Josh, he's born in 80 in December 6th. So he's very close to millennial, but we'll still consider Generation X. And prior to that, anybody from 46 to 64 as your baby boomers, right? These are the senior citizens that we're talking about downsizing, and maybe millennials are the ones that's going to be starting their life and have kids one day and then upgrade to a bigger house. Okay, so we will share these slides with you guys later on so you guys can jot it down. Next, guys, open house signs. Again, I don't think anyone has this issue here. We mentioned it's $75 for open house signs. Every listing agent should have at least three, four, five, anything more than three. So this way you guys can host open houses freely. You don't have to bring them back. It goes a long way. So these are solid open house signs. So every listing agent should have them. I spoke with Anand and he said instead of $75, if you guys want one or two, it'll still be 75. But if you want three of them, he'll do it for $200 even, which comes down to around $66 each. Okay. So if you do need these open house signs, we have customized it where your photo is on it, your phone number is on it. So it's just not our logo, but it has your information. So any client can just call you directly when they see that open house sign. Okay. Once you order it, he typically gets it done within a couple of days. Once in the email template, when we're sending it to Anand, he will call you once the signs are ready, and you just pick it up from this address. Okay. Again, if you're a listing agent, you should have these. If you're a buyer's agent, we mentioned you do not want to lose out on your commission, so make sure you have your disclosures ready. We have, I believe, 10 plus deals that's under contract. Our assistant here, she's reviewing all these files and we'll be reaching out to you guys for disclosures. So this way, we're going to be staying up to date with these disclosures before you guys actually close on this deal, right? We want to learn from whatever we did in 2023 and make sure we get better with this. And we don't want to chase you guys after the closing. All your disclosures, everything needs to be signed before the closing actually happens. We will not issue a commission invoice if these things are not done. Sorry to be harsh, but we have to make sure that we are all professional and we don't take anything for granted and wait until the last minute. Okay. Same thing in transaction desk, guys. If you have the right template, you choose the buyer's template, you will see all the disclosures and forms that you guys need. Sales agreement binder is your offer letter. Okay. Again, if you guys want to go one-on-one with me through the transaction desk, I'll be more than happy to review it with you guys. Okay. Guys, even if you're on level one, right, for your commission, make it your goal that you want to get 8 transactions done this year. 8 should be the number. I don't care what level you're on, right? If as long as you can get 8 deals done, you automatically become level 4, which is 100% commission, right? So we want to have this to make sure that you guys are really aggressive when it comes to transactions. If you guys bring in someone as a referral, that still counts as a deal, but you want to make sure that you can get 8 deals closed, so you can make good amount of commission and be on level 4, 100% commission. this year. That should be your goal. Overall, if we say 8 is the number, if you guys want to strike for even more, there's no limit, guys, right? Just keep it realistic how I'm going to get there. Even if it's 25, I want to get 25 deals done this year. Guess what? It is possible. A lot of hard work. You got to probably, get rid of your family to make this happen. We know that's really tough. But keeping it realistic, 10 is a very good number. That means you're really consistently closing deals and you're a full-time realtor. You're not going to be a part-time realtor doing 10 deals a year. A part-time realtor is doing maybe one, two, three deals. Anything above that, it takes a lot of times and you're really devoted to real estate, and you will get the return in commission, but you will be closing more deals when you're full-time. Simply put, there's no way you can be juggling two things when you're closing that many deals and making good amount of commission through real estate. Okay, and we have seen it over and over again with realtors. Hey, they get really excited for some time. Hey, I have a couple of deals under contract, and then they fall off. It's just the reality of it, right? You want to be encouraged when you actually have deals under contract, so you know your job is good, right? You already took them to the contract. Let me focus on the next client that I can take them to the contract, right? Because once they're under contract, as we mentioned, we have the loan officer and the attorney helping that same client to the closing, right? Because all of a sudden that client is shared with them, and they're there to make their money as well. So they have the same goal. Let's get to the closing. So you can rest assured that they're in good hands, and let's work on the next client. Okay. So our loan officers, guys, any deal that you're giving them, they're giving you a link for a portal. So let's say a Rupinder, you are giving a deal to a client to Tolochen, and Tolochen has his own software arrive, and once he can invite you. So this way, any client that you're sending them, right, you can see it in one portal in Arrive. So you have your separate portal as a realtor, because this loan officer is assigning these files to you, right? So what's the point of that? Why would you want to get a portal for a real estate agent, even if you're not a loan officer? So with this portal, it looks something like this. Once you log in, you will see the borrower's name, you will see their address, email, because this is a mutual client of yours, and you can print out your own pre-approvals. So let's say you want to put in even though the client qualifies for $1 million, and let's say you want to put in an offer for 950, and you want your offer to show 950, you can hit pre-approval and put in 950, and it will give you 950 pre-approval letter. So sometime you have a pre-approval letter that's 6 months old, and you want the latest one. If you have this portal, you have this client, you can see all that good stuff in there, and you can print out the latest pre-approval at any time that you want. The limit for the pre-approval, that's what the most common question is, that hey, could I just put $1 million, or could I put $2 million, or any amount? No, the loan officer already said this is the maximum amount this person can qualify for, so you can put anything lower than that, right? So maybe you want to put 950, 940, 930, whatever that case is. You can do it on individual level and print those out as PDF. If you want to provide any document, you can upload it in here, and the loan officer can see it as well. This could be your FHA, clauses, or any document that your loan officer needs you to sign as a realtor. He or she can upload it here as well. But the biggest factor for you is that hey, if I send, three clients to Jazz, two clients to Tolochen, those loan officers can assign these files to you so you guys can take a look at it. More importantly, you guys can see the loan progress. So instead of calling Jas or Tolochin or one of our loan officers promote here and saying, hey, what's the status? You can literally see that this one is just got started, is in the application status. Once the application is in processing or underwriting or closing, you guys will see those statuses accordingly here. Okay. So it's a really powerful tool. So any file that you guys sending out, just request that we're making a habit of sending you guys the portal link. It's just one-time link, one-time login for Arrive, for so you guys can manage all your clients there. Okay, really powerful tool. Okay. Next, guys, we want to wrap it up with listing agents. Please notify us beforehand. If you're going to be scheduling an open house this weekend, let us know beforehand so we can tell our loan officers so they can be there. And more importantly, it is listed on MLS beforehand. Please do not do it at the last minute. Not a lot of people will show up if you're scheduling it on Friday and then you're going to be hosting it on Saturday. Try to do it at least 3 days before so it can go out to Zillow and all the other websites, and regular clients sitting at home, they can be notified that this property is going to be having an open house this weekend. Okay. Again, if you guys need any helping hand, right? We have Team Purple, Gold, and Blue, guys. Be encouraged and join any of them. We have some rules for them. They do take 10% of your commission if you're starting out, but they're a great help. They can help you close more deals and help you negotiate, take you to the showings, take them to their open houses, and really, be that support system when you really need it. So join a team if you have to this year. Okay. That will do it from my end, guys. Any questions, concerns, comments, feedback, let me know, please. All right. So for next meeting, guys, we will send out a survey that you guys want to mention. A lot of these topics that we speak about, right? This is the common questions our agents are asking. So hopefully you guys find these helpful as well. But any topics, concerns, comments, anything on your mind, just shoot me a message or come to the office. And your goal should be close more deals. Whatever you close in 2023, you want to close a lot more. We know that the buyers were not fully ready because of high interest rates, low inventory. Both of those things should be changing in 2024. We just want to make sure that are you ready or not, right? Are you ready with the tools or not? So get to know the things that you really know. It's 2024. Let's make things some happen here. So close more deals and have good amount of commission so you guys can get rid of your part-time job and make a transition to a full-time being a realtor. Okay. If there's no any questions, guys, I hope this helps. You guys take care. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Happy New Year, guys. Take care. Happy New Year, guys. Yep. Happy New Year, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Good afternoon, Harish. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, sir. We get started in about 5 minutes, right? Let people join in. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Hey, good afternoon, Leon. Happy New Year. Thank you, sir. Hey, how are you, Mr. Ali? Yes, sir. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Nice. Perfect. Yeah, I thought I saw one of those pop-ups, so I didn't click on it, but I'm pretty sure that is it. Perfect. Is and 195 you said? It's perfect. Nice. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, yes. Credits. Yeah, you could do two at one time. Yeah. No, that's perfect. Perfect. Instead of doing, regular learning nothing, why not do something that you're gonna use? So sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, no, mention that in the yeah, WhatsApp group too. They will appreciate it. All right. Sounds good. All right, no problem. Thank you so much, right? All right, take care. Bye bye. Hey, good morning, Sandeep ji. Happy New Year. Yes, yeah, yeah. All right, we're gonna get started in about 2 minutes, guys. All right, I hope everyone can see my screen here. All right, thank you, sir. All right, perfect. Yep, we're gonna get started in less than a minute. All right, guys, let's get started.